How is everybody? Bo Pinnell here. We're at the Bowler's Edge Pro Shop in Norfolk, Virginia, where we do a lot of our research. And there's been lots of discussions about bowling balls online and on Facebook. So I'd like to do some clarification so some of the confusions that go on are at least taken care of. What we have in front of me here is a Determinator. It is a device I developed in the early 2000s to locate the preferred spin axis of a bowling ball. It's used by almost all the manufacturers right now, and it's used by the USBC to check the markings on a bowling ball to make sure they're legitimate. What happens here is when you turn on the Determinator, which I'll do right now, you are spinning the bowling ball at a little over 400 RPMs, which is the average rev rate for a good player. Not a super player, but a good player. Somebody that's about 275 off their hand. By the time the ball hits the pins, it's a little over 400 RPMs. So to be more realistic and more legitimate, we have the rev rate set at a little over 400 RPMs. Now, what the Determinator does is it finds the high RG axis of the ball after it's drilled and before. But some balls spin before they're drilled and some balls don't. So we're looking for the high RG axis. Now there's other terms that are used. One's the PSA, the other one is the mass bias, but they all mean the high RG axis of the ball, which on asymmetrical balls are marked with either a dot or a lightning bolt or another symbol of some type. That is the PSA, or the high RG axis of the ball. What does that mean? If it's marked on a bowling ball, it means the bowling ball is asymmetrical. By definition, asymmetrical, according to the USBC, is more than 0.010 inches, which means the difference between the x-axis and the y-axis, which are two perpendicular axes on the ball, is bigger than 0.010. If it's bigger than 0.010, it is considered an asymmetrical ball and must be marked so. And the mark must be within 1.5 inches of where it is when they spin the ball in reality to make sure the ball is marked accurately. If it's less, the intermediate diff is less than 0.010, then it's a symmetrical ball and there's no marks required. You may want to mark it, but it wouldn't do any good because after you drill the ball, it isn't going to spin where it was marked to begin with. So, we got 3 different types of balls here. We have the standard symmetrical ball. This could be from any manufacturer. I chose a very popular one that's been around a long time. This is a symmetrical ball, meaning the intermediate diff is less than 0.10. Over here, we have an asymmetrical ball, the Radical Cash. The strongest ball on the market, the strongest ball ever, according to the Bowler's Journal, and that has a marked mass bias on it. And in the middle, we have the Fix, which is got that shapeshifter core, which is very interesting. We control the intermediate diff of the drill ball by whether we put the pin above or below the fingers. So this is a different ball than either of these other two. Up until we put the Fix on the market, there were only symmetrical and asymmetrical balls. Now there's this hybrid shapeshifter core that goes in between them. So there you are, and we're going to show you how this works and what happens when we spin these balls.